Okay, sorry about that. I know I didn't say much during the reaction just because I was like really taken aback by everything. We're gonna go back to the beginning, just like how I usually do with the Pokemon trailers. We're gonna bring it down to half speed and take a look at what is going on here. Of course, it was very nice to see Lapis and Peridot in the trailer. They are two of my favorite characters, but that's skipping a little bit ahead. So take a quick look at this. So here we've got Steven, and they're constructing something. I'm not sure if this is going to be on Earth or on Homeworld. It does seem like he's been spending a lot more time on Homeworld dismantling the Empire, which I'm assuming is the big, Diamond Authority ruling that White Diamond and the other diamonds were building together. So perhaps they're reconstructing, trying to put in more color, trying to change society, things like that. So he's floating along around there. He is using some sort of communication device with some other gems, like this might be another Peridot that we've got down here. These ones were what? It seems like the same shape as Aquamarine. I don't know if it'll be another Aquamarine or not. They do seem like they have some similar shapes here, and sorry if the volume was clipping a little bit, I got a little excited. I'm not sure what other gems might be here, but he's communicating with them, and he's essentially saying, like, here we've got all the diamond ships, so it seems like he's communicating with a large amount of Homeworld gems on Homeworld, and we can see that we've got different gems of the different ports. Like there's a lot of yellow gems and blue gems over here, or at least they're colored that way. And it seems like there might be pink gem types here, though I'm not 100% sure. It might just be the coloring of this area. Whereas with White Diamond, it seems like there's gems of all sorts of colors here, and then we can see different kind of groups around here, like purples and greens and whatnot. And we do see that all of the ships are here. Honey, excuse me. 1 second again. What are you not supposed to be in here? Sorry about that. Oops, I put my chair into the microphone stand. Okay. So we do see that all 4 ships are here. Yellow Diamond, Blue Diamond, White Diamond, and Pink Diamond / Steven. And we do see Steven sporting that great neck. They made a whole, joking video about it on Cartoon Network that Steven has a neck now. So that's exciting stuff. And it does seem like his voice is a little deeper, of course, because he's growing, he's going through puberty, things like that. I'm not sure if it's just my headphones or not, but it does seem like his voice is a little deeper, so that's pretty cool. So he's addressing the Homeworld gems, saying he's enjoyed helping dismantle the Empire, but he wants to go home with his friends. And it does seem like the crew is still sporting their changed appearances from the very last episode that we saw, Change Your Mind, when they all reformed and things like that. Steven's rocking a slightly different outfit. He's got a nice jacket on with a new type of shirt. They're all taking a cute picture together. Seems to be a nice either reuniting or just saying goodbye or something else with Connie. We've got some flowers in the corner here, of course, very indicative of everything that we know that happened, in a single pale rose, things like that. Connie's got a little bit of a different redesign. She's got her hair pulled back a little bit more, different outfit. So they're all just hanging out on the mountain in their homes. We can see a little bit of the laundry is still over there. I really like that Pearl is just kind of laying on her stomach. That really indicates to me that she's become more at peace with things, because we do know that she's been through a lot. Steven's holding a flower, and of course, nothing good ever lasts for our heroes. There's always something they have to go through and deal with. and in comes this mysterious gem. And I personally have no idea what this gem could be, what its background is. It's an upside down, kind of heart-shaped gem. I don't know what the premise is. Perhaps they're just frustrated with everything that happened with the Diamond Authority and Steven's intervention. So that's why they are coming to attack Steven and just kind of kill him. It does make me wonder though whether or not we know that in the zoo episode, is it the zoo episode? One of the episodes where Steven's in space and he comes across is it blue agate, I believe? And he finds, or maybe it's, oh wait. No, it's the episode where they have the song, What's the Use of Feeling Blue? That Yellow and Blue Diamond are singing. So it's when Steven helps Greg escape. So maybe it is a zoo episode. But they're in the room with all of the bubbled rose quartz gems that Pink Diamond had bubbled. I wonder if either in this movie or in future episodes, if they are going to go and revisit that. If Steven unbubbles all of those gems and sees what happens. Is this a result of that? Is it completely unrelated? Is that something that's going to happen? Like perhaps the future episodes are going to try and cover more of the in-between where things ended and this movie started. Because it does seem like, I think there's some sort of time jump of at least a year or two. And Steven's been working on, like, homeworld things. So perhaps he does go back and dresses or does something with these gems. So that'll be interesting to see. But we see this gem who's the antagonist of the movie. And it seems like they have a lot of like body morphing abilities. This was something that was similar to, I believe, what Aquamarine did in their episode. I think they did some body morphing. I am not 100% certain though. But it does seem like they are here to take Steven down. Oh, and then if you look at the ship, right? If we go back to the ship, it's in the shape of an hourglass, kind of indicating that, like, Steven's time is running out, or the good things, of course, weren't going to last because this gem, whoever they are, was going to come and wreak havoc on things. And Steven is notably upset because he just wants to live life. He doesn't want to deal with all of this drama. And we do get kind of a look at this gem as it's coming down. So in this sense, it doesn't look like it's super angry. I don't know if it's just the animation or maybe it's just kind of like a sadistic, I'm here to take you down, but this is kind of a stretched out version of what we're looking at here. It's almost like a jester type of gem. So they are coming in to attack. They look very angry in this part. So if we go back to that is something I wanted to talk about when I first viewed it. This appears to be one of those similar weapons that Jasper used in one of the earlier season 1 or 2 episodes, that when it hits the gem, it makes their form poof. It poofs the form and makes them kind of just go back to their gem form before they reform. And it seems like with these light markings here that this weapon is attempting to try and poof Steven in a similar way, which of course we know Steven is resistant to based on that episode because he was able, that was essentially how he was able to save all of his friends, was because these weapons didn't poof him. So it seems like this evil antagonist, I shouldn't say evil, the antagonist gem has that type of weapon. It makes me wonder if they had already poofed the other crystal gems first, and then this is Steven's last line of defense. He is fighting against it though. So we do see Steven's kind of floating up there. I'm not sure if he's falling or if he's floating, what's going on, how well he has control over those powers now, because they are related to like his emotions. So perhaps since a lot of what was going on has calmed down, he might have better control over what's going on. And again, the body form morphing abilities. Steven is of course upset. Very stretchy. Steven is stretchy. And strong. We've always known that Steven is strong. So this weapon, or at least the gem's intent, is to destroy. I'm gonna take some water. To destroy all organic life, very similar to the original goals of the Diamond Authority, wanting to destroy human life so that they could use the materials, not human life, organic life, so that they can use the materials of the earth to make more gems, rule their empire, whatever was going to happen. And it's nice to hear that Peridot is doing the overlay of this, because it really also just reminds you of Peridot's growth throughout the series, and that Peridot is still being useful and helpful to the other main characters, because I love Peridot, and it makes me excited that Peridot might potentially have a big role to play in this movie, trying to help out the Crystal Gems. So it seems like this ship thing, whatever is going on, landed right in each city. We've got a little water tower looking through here, and the insides are empty. So perhaps this reminds me actually of the design, the natural design of viruses. And let me see if I can't think bacteriophages is what specifically I'm thinking of. Yeah, right here. So the ship is now reminding me a lot of the bacteriophage, and what the bacteriophage does is essentially it's holding kind of like DNA and other things, other components. I'm not 100% a biologist, but it holds like material up here, and it attaches to a cell, which we can see kind of here, right? It attaches to a cell, and then it injects whatever is in here into the cell. And then it uses the hardware of the cell to make more of the bacteriophage, the virus. It makes more of the virus to essentially as a means of population. And eventually the bacteria cell will die, and all of these bacteriophages will kind of just go out into their way and try to find more bacteria cells to inhabit and take over. So that's actually what this reminds me of here. Like, it's even got this similar shape at the top. We saw earlier that this was filled with like a pink kind of substance. So that makes me think that whatever is coming out here, this ship kind of went and injected into the Earth, and it's potentially using the Earth as a host to either populate or create more of itself, or more of whatever this pink stuff is. It's killing the organic life to do something, either grow or just to kill it. And that's actually kind of very similar to what happens with the bacteriophages in nature. So that's actually kind of interesting. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that before, but I don't know, maybe I stumbled across something. So we do see something like that happening. Peridot is kind of examining what potentially could be maybe a molecule of that substance. A lot of times molecules are depicted with ball and stick form. Like if you look up a water molecule, right, we do see, like, here's a typical ball and stick form. We also have ones here where it's just more of like the electron clouds. And that's kind of what it seems like we're looking at here. Like, we do see what looks like a little molecule here, another one here. So this could be Peridot kind of looking at the material. And Steven has gotten very tall, or Peridot continues to shrink. Like, this is Steven standing right behind Peridot, so... But that seems to be what they're looking at. And how it's potentially related to, like, the material destroying organic life and using it as a means to do whatever it has to do. And this shows the antagonist kind of wrapping around Pearl. Perhaps this is when it first lands. We do see a fence around them, so I'm not sure if this is on top of the house or whatnot. But Pearl very much gets yeeted. This kind of shows them all getting tied up together again. Steven's in peril. Steven's frustrated, says that's enough, or this is enough. And then we get a beautiful song from Estelle, the person who voices Garnet. And we do see Alexandrite come back, which is the fusion between Garnet Pearl and Amethyst. So they are ready to get underway. Perhaps this is like the end, maybe they're victorious and they're celebrating, I don't know, that might just be me. But I love this part here. Especially with how happy Lapis looks. It seems like she's really starting to come into her own, and I also really love her new outfit. It's also nice to see Bismuth is in this, and Peridot, of course. They're all together, and that makes me really, really happy. It seems like they're either building something here, or they're at a location. Perhaps it is the water tower. I'm not 100% sure. Here we see Pearl and Amethyst kind of falling. Perhaps they were fused together as Opal, but then they were defeated in battle and they're just kind of like falling because they're holding hands, so perhaps this was because they were coming out of their fusion, or maybe they're going into their fusion so that way they can save the day or do whatever. Lots of light. I can't quite make out what the building says, but it's pretty much potentially destroyed. This is an awesome image of Steven and his dad playing guitar together with flames on each side. I'm not sure if this is probably going to be something that's like when Steven comes back to Earth to hang out with his friends and family and they spend the night doing that. I don't think this has to do with defeating the antagonist, but maybe it does. There was a theory all the way back in the day that Greg had a huge role to play in reversing corruption, since the corruption sounded like a song, but now we know that's not 100% probable. Steven is hugging Amethyst. Perhaps there was like a danger where Amethyst or Steven were in peril and the other one was worried, and then they were fine. Connie gives Steven a little smooch, and it seems like they're both like aging in height and the same height. We do see some pictures in the background, Train something to Cosmos, and we do see the picture of Rose with Greg. And I think this is Garnet up here, I'm not 100% sure. Steven looks pretty tired up there, trying to get to the top of this bacteriophage-like ship, getting ready to face down the antagonist. And we do kind of see in the background, this seems to be the hole where the drill of this ship might have gone in and started implanting and infecting the Earth with whatever this liquid or fluid is. And that is the end of the trailer. So this actually looks like a really interesting movie. I'm not sure how long it's slated to be or whether or not it's in theaters. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be on Cartoon Network, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, it looks really interesting. And I had a lot of fun like looking through this trailer and kind of analyzing it, putting in my thoughts. Let me know what you think of this movie, the trailer, the potential plot, the new antagonist gem in the comments below. And of course, let me know what your favorite gem is, whether it's a crystal gem, whether it's not a crystal gem. Let me know what your favorite gem is and why. But if you enjoyed this and are excited for Steven Universe and would like to see more content, I also do other things like Pokemon, some like Korra, and I'm getting into other things as well as they come up. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. hit that like button if you liked this review and this analysis, and check me out on Twitter and Twitch and Instagram now. I have an Instagram, and it's only got like 2 posts so far, but we're getting there. But in the meantime, of course, I hope you have a wonderful day, and this is AutumnRE signing off.